what I'm going to share with you now is what I do. I am a user of many things. I want to share with you what I use things for. And so not everything I use is a paintbrush or a ruler or another paintbrush or a Posco marker. All these things have something in common. A little scrubby brush. All these things have something in common. Do you know what they have in common? What they have in common is they are all art tools. Art tools that have been purchased to make art. What do you have in your studio that you have purchased that is not an art tool that you use to make art? Came up with this on my last video, and I'm thinking to myself, hey, this is a good thing to talk about. Oh, by the way, I have this really cool sign now that says, it's a good day to make some art. Yes, my aunt got that for me, and because she's pretty awesome. So, yes. All right. Things I have. I want to show you. Let's start with obvious ones. Q-tips. Q-tips, it's kind of funny because we all grew up, especially if you're a Generation X person, you grew up, and what did you do with these? You used them to clean out your ears. Well, even though it says on the package, do not put in your ear. Really, what is a Q-tip for? I love sticking these in my ears. Okay, don't do that, and don't say that I told you to do that, but that's what I do. But anyway, besides that, clean Q-tips. I use, and here's a jelly jar that I use to put my Q-tips in. I use these so much in painting. In fact, I use these more than probably a lot of my art tools in the aspect that I get it wet, either by going and getting it wet or getting it wet like with water. And I use it to wipe away certain things. Really good for eyeballs to get them clean. Good for areas I just can't get to with my finger. I use Q-tips for so many things. So Q-tips, one thing I use. Toothbrushes. I use toothbrushes like crazy in art. So these are for brushing thy teeth. This one is black. This looks like I used it to actually clean something with. Oh, that was another video I did. And it was, you can use toothbrushes to clean out. Here's an art tool. It is a pencil sharpener, and you can actually use a toothbrush to clean out your pencil sharpener so you do not have a jammed pencil sharpener. That's one use. Another use is to scrub. I used it yesterday. I finished a painting, and I had used a brand new brush. It's wet now, but I used this brand new brush. And I guess when you buy a brush, especially like this, and it was even a level 2 specialty brush, this brush shed all over my painting. But it was the first time I've ever used it. So maybe I was supposed to have washed it first and kind of and got rid of all the fur on it before I painted. So anyway, I had all these all over my painting. And I'm like, oh no. So my painting dried. And again, I'm a very painterly painter. So I'm very chaos and lots of brush strokes and stuff. So, but I still don't want hair all over my painting, right? So I took this little handy dandy paintbrush and I went in there and let's act like this is the painting. Okay, you can act, these are wet. I can't do that. Pretend I have a painting in front of me and like pretend that this is a painting. I scrubbed the surface of my painting, probably lighter than that, and just got out all the paintbrushes or got out all the little fur. And it's really good because I have 2 bulldogs and I have fur everywhere. So this is good for kind of lightly getting them out. And then what happens is it makes them lift off and then you can grab them and pluck them, or you can go get your handy dandy, which I do not have in here, my tweezers. And so that is what this one's used for. Also, you can just do the whole and spray paint with them. That's what I use that for. Also, I got pieces of cardboard for straight lines. I've got the honey baked ham gift card that after I used the gift card, they gave it back to me. I have used this for scraping, making scraping designs on my paintings. Yes, I have. I definitely have. Ooh, I just got yellow paint all over me. This is an actual baby butter knife, I guess. A little baby butter knife. Probably for like when you're doing like, I have cream cheese out and I want to put it on my crackers and you get the little baby butter knife. So I have used this for so many things. And can't even tell you. I've used this for lots of things. Scraping, drawing in the paint, etching in the paint, opening things, not picking my teeth. I haven't used it for picking my teeth. I don't think that would work real well. But this has been used and is one of my big uses. Now we get to some of the fun stuff. Okay, screwdriver. Again, makes a little bit different. This guy has been used a lot. He is a unfolded paper clip. So these art tools, these unconventional art tools. Unconventional art tools. I've drawn with this, etched with this, poked holes with this, dug things out with this. This guy has been used for so many things as well. One of the things I've used him for is poking holes in dried paint tubes to get them open. Yeah. Okay, and then let's get even sillier. Does anybody know what this is? I actually bought this, and it was downstairs in my coffee table drawer where I keep all my fingernail stuff. It is a fingernail cuticle pusher backer thing to work on your fingernails. Well, guess what? It became an art tool. Again, another tool I use for etching, digging in things, writing on things. It's amazing when you realize how much you need pointy things. Then let's get even weirder. Anybody know what this is? This, yes, it's a brush. And it is a type of paintbrush. It is a type of paintbrush. No, I do not dye the hair on my arms. That would not make sense. But it is a hair dye brush. And I purchased it and I used it for many years. And then it started like getting a little bit of bend to it. And it started fraying and it didn't work very well. And I'm like, oh, this would be so cool as an art brush. So I've used this when I want to dry brush, do a little bit of dry brush work. Maybe I'll do a demonstration of that later. Dry brushing with a hair dye brush. Yeah. Now, I showed this earlier on one of my other ones. Does anybody know what this is? Again, it is from a hair dye kit. Yes, I do dye my hair. Hair dye kit. And it is actually one of those ones for when you bleach your hair and you put on a bag on your head and then you poke through all the little holes and pull all your little hairs out and then bleach your hair so the rest of the hair don't get bleached. I'm not sure what that was supposed to be for, but whatever. So I hate throwing things away. And it's like this nice little tool. And I didn't really know what I was going to use it for. So I just put it in with my art tools. And it has become my spatula for digging paint out of cups. So that's that. Oh, I got like two more. Does anybody remember Joe's Crab Shack? Joe's Crab Shack. If you say you remember Joe's Crab Shack, type in Joe's Crab Shack. Woo! There's a place that served crab. It was really, really good. You had like barbecue crab, I guess, and all different kinds of crab. So, and seafood and yeah. So anyway, it probably knew this is what you use to like open the shells. And, it was kind of, it's kind of a funny place. They always have funny signs and everything everywhere. And I think they knew that everybody was stealing these. So they just typed on there, stolen from Joe's Crab Shack. So because of that, I was like, oh, well, then they want me to steal it, right? So it came home with me. And it sat down in my kitchen forever. And we don't really buy crab. Like, I get crab at restaurants, but not really at home. I mean, every once in a blue moon, maybe like for a special occasion, I might get crab. So then I'm like, I'm going to put this up with my art tools. I have used this again for like, it looks like digging in, a lot of times you got to dig in these paint tubes when they've gotten rock hard in there and you got to dig in and pop them out. I've used it for that. Again, scraping. It's just funny when you find the use for these things. So I've used that. And then, you saw this earlier, it's a water bottle. And I always have this sitting to the side. You never know when you need to spray water on something, kind of like my bulldogs right now. Bulldogs, stop! It didn't work. Okay, bulldogs, stop. Well, Archie stopped, but Lola's still going. Okay, and my last, but not final, but final for today. This little beauty here, and I didn't clean it out after the last time I used it, so now it's even harder and crunchier, which will make a different texture. This I bought many years ago, and it was supposed to be a body scrubber. I had looked online. Oh, everything's shaking back and forth. Sorry. I looked online and it was a body scrubber, and it was for, if anybody's looked up body brushing is supposed to get your lymphatic flowing and all your blood flowing. Ow, I can't do it with this now. It's got dried paint on it. But hey, you two, stop it. You're going to tear up my room. Okay, so this was a body brush. You're supposed to brush. And I think you got to brush your body towards, everything has to go towards your heart. So down on your legs and everywhere. It hurts and I don't like it. And I know it's supposed to be good for your skin and good for your blood flow. Maybe I need to get a new brush and try it, but I had it for years and I was finally like, I'm not going to use this. And you do it when your body's dry too. It's just weird. So I decided I didn't want to be a body brusher person because I only tried it a couple times and it didn't really do anything for me except for hurt. So I brought it in here and I ended up using this and I squirted paint on one of my palettes. It's like so, and scrunch in one of my paint, dip. It was gold. And I actually went in and went, whoop, whoop. And I made some cool designs on the painting. It actually looks like a moon in the background, but you never know what you can use. And this, my friends, was my body brush that turned into a painting using a painting tool. All right. So here is the painting that I used my body brush on. What happened was I had this painting and I really loved it. And I'm going to name it the Mad King. Even though he doesn't have a crown on, I just have the Mad King in my brain. So I'm going to name it the Mad King. And so he looks kind of angry, right? But anyway, I felt like it was off balance. I needed balance. So gold paint, yellow paint, orange, really good orange paint got in there. And I just kind of started figuring things out and twisting and painting and twisting and shunk. And there it is. It created this really, really cool painting. Body brush. Yep. And if this was shaking during the whole time I was talking, it's because I have 2 bulldogs that are hanging out and they're shaking the entire room. We got a 75-pound bulldog and we have got a 55-pound bulldog. Let's see. Yeah, see what happens? And so they've actually leaned on my canvas before. Yeah, both of you. Archie. That's Archie. Lola. Okay. But for some reason they have to wrestle on top of whatever surface I'm painting on. So the whole surface just goes nee. And then it is a good day to make some art, friends. Bye.